What's up, guys? Cinestalker here for a new video. In this video right here is just a nice movie reviews video. I have a nice stack of some awesome flicks I got in the past couple of weeks or so to review for you guys from some various companies. So let's get down to it now. All right, now to the reviews. I'm gonna start off with some titles here from Arrow Video. I think I have about 4 titles I'm gonna start off with right now from Arrow Video. These should be available right now. So the link down below, if you want to order these at from this company, link down below right there in the description box. So I'm gonna start with this one, a really cool late 80s, I think it came out like 1989, slasher film here on Blu-ray for the first time. I have the old DVD of it up there from Shriek Show. This is Horror High. I meant to say Hell High. I get confused with another movie called Horror High. My bad. Check that out. They're filed. So if you watch this movie, you know what I'm talking about. But this movie right here is a pretty cool take on a slasher flick. Is this one? It takes place at this high school. It's kind of like these delinquents there. And but in the movie, though, you see like this girl. She witnesses like this horrible, horrific thing happen to her. And then years later, you're not sure what happened to her. But then at this school, these teenagers, like I said earlier, like these kind of delinquents, like to pull pranks and like they're kind of like this rough houses over there. So we get this teacher there, and they try to do like a prank on her, but the prank goes really bad, and it makes the teacher, the woman, snap, and she has this traumatic past comes up and attacks them throughout the course of the movie one by one. And it's an interesting take of a slasher right up here. But I love how that slipcase looks. Got that nice little embossed lettering, little shine right there. Here's the back of the little girl as when she gets older, her past of torment comes back. And look at these rad, but then with the characters, all those masks and stuff. Just a really neat, fun flick is this. You have a really great retro introduction by Joe Bob Briggs, interview with the director, and all kinds of new interviews about this film right up here. And the main guy, I think he passed away of AIDS a long time ago, but here's like the old cover of it, the old DVD cover, VHS cover. You can change it out, and which is unfortunate. I think he died like a couple years later after this movie or so, or maybe less than that. The main guy says, they're filed. He died, unfortunately. But it's a great commentary on this thing, loaded up, nice booklet in there. And we also get a whole bunch of extras in this thing. And I'll kind of go through them a little bit with you guys. It's a brand new 2K restoration of the film. You get a new introduction of the movie, like an old introduction by Joe Bob Briggs. You get a new commentary track, a couple other, you get a retro commentary track that was on the DVD too. And you get like all kinds of behind the scenes stuff, TV spots, and more. Really cool, low budget, like not like low budget, but pretty good, decent budget flick is this. It didn't really do well from what I read up on and saw from this from behind the scenes. Because it came out in '89 when slashes were kind of like phasing out. That's when this came out. But I did have a theatrical release, and I made a lot more money and got like a cult status on videotape and throughout the years later on DVD. But definitely a really cool horror flick slasher one is this. It came out in 1989, and that is Hell High. And next up here is one up here with Anthony Perkins starring in Edge of Sanity, pretty much a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde movie. He's Dr. Jekyll type character, tries the scientist guy, and then the like Victorian era of England and whatnot. And he has this serum, and he turns into like Mr. Hyde, a creepy guy. He has like this weird like eye makeup kind of stuff on his eyes, and then when he transforms himself, Anthony Perkins. And it's kind of some parts of it kind of sleazy and stuff. Like it's interesting to see Perkins in this. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see him like this in this role. Shot really well. Looks great on Blu-ray, and a pretty interesting one here with Anthony Perkins. Actually looks like inside. But yeah, definitely if you're a fan of his work, so definitely like this. So he has like this, when he transforms, like it's like this kind of interesting makeup, right? And it's kind of sleazy, kind of perverted. It's like these like perverted things. He wants to like see like weird, like almost like bondage, S&M kind of stuff. Anthony Perkins when he transforms into this character from this serum. So it's kind of strange to see it, but it's pretty cool because it's definitely different. And that is Edge of Sanity, available now. And this one up here is called Sacred Spirit, or The Sacred Spirit. Love that cover art. And this movie right here, wish I could say better things about it, by Spanish director Garcia Ibarra. And this movie up here, it takes place as a girl. These UFO things going on in the city, and it's trying to find these connections with it. But the movie itself is not that great. It's just It was really not that good. I was hoping for a lot of good things about this one. Because, you know, UFOs with the pyramids and the all-seeing eye and all that kind of deal. I was hoping to be like a lot more, you know, different kind of creepy, alien creepy stuff, conspiracy theory, kind of interesting stuff in this thing. It just kind of did not deliver, I thought, in that way. It was shot kind of like, for me, you kind of just lose interest. So this one, I don't know, I really did not enjoy this one that much. But if you are curious about this one, it is available now. But a buyer beware, you know what I mean? But here's like the booklet up in here of some of the shots of the movie. But so the movie itself was I don't know, I couldn't really get into it. I tried to a couple of times and just did not do well. And this one up here has some short films of the director too on the second disc. Kind of just fell flat. Didn't really enjoy this one that much. For curiosity's sake, maybe just pass it, maybe get some more research on it. Take my word for it, it's really not that good. For at least my thought it was. I was hoping to be a lot more and just did not. Because by that cover art, look at that beautiful cover art, it looks great, but yeah, it happens sometimes. Now last here from Arrow Video is this one up here. That is called The Righteous. Directed and written by Mark O'Brien. He actually co-stars in this thing too. That's him right there. Pretty much you have 3 actors in this whole movie. It's filmed all in black and white. It's like a horror movie, kind of like a drama, but you know, kind of like a horror flick, but not. I was hoping to be a lot more. It was just like it was like all right. It was like okay. So it was shot really well, but the movie itself was, some parts were kind of strange. There's like this priest is like there with his wife, kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's like a dark past, and he has like stuff in his mind of things that he might have done that's haunting him, and in doing so, he meets this stranger, which is Mark O'Brien. He's like at nighttime, he's like, his legs hurt, he's like, so he gets help and stuff, so they're kind of hesitant to bring him in. And then they take him in, and then he kind of like, the wife is real hesitant. Then the next day, the morning, the wife like loves this guy, kind of like, almost like their lost son, and kind of like treats him like their kid. And then the priest is like, kind of like, okay, what's going on here? And it's sort of like the stranger, Mark O'Brien, sort of like, almost like brainwashing them in a weird way, not really sure what's going on. And it's kind of strange, and things unfold after that, and of what's unfolding with this. And he tries to bring things up with the priest, and then you realize what this stranger is all about, how he got there, how he sort of got summoned there, and you'll find out what goes on more with that. It was just all right. I was hoping to be a lot more of this thing, a little more creepier, because it definitely could have been that way, but some parts were kind of like, made you go, oh, what's going to happen here? You think it's going to happen like that, and it kind of didn't. It was sort of a letdown that didn't go that way, I thought. But it was just all right, was this one. So it was shot really well. It looks really good on black and white. And this one, you have a lot of some interviews here. Really long interview with the director, Mark O'Brien. Really good interview, like a podcast interview, and some behind the scenes footage of this thing. So it's really cool, like a making of too of that. So that's really nice on here in itself. Shows like inside, but it said it's all in black and white and that kind of deal. And I do like this original reversible artwork. That looks pretty cool. But yeah, it's like interesting, not like overly like a religious horror flick, but there's some undertones of it in there. But it just was all right. It was just like all right. The Righteous. All right, next up here on Blu-ray, I'm not sure if, I think for the first time, from Troma, and that is Combat Shock, the classic low-budget Combat Shock here in Blu-ray from Troma. This guy, he's like an ex-Vietnam vet, but he's just kind of crazy, and he has like this weird baby that's like, it's all makeup, and it's all like deformed and strange, and his wife, and he can't really provide for him, just kind of just cracks up, and he's in like, New York, and things aren't going right, and he's kind of like all these like delusions in his mind of things going on. It's a little sleazy, and it's like drug addict friends, tries to find his way through how things are in the world, because no one's giving him a chance. So all this hardships going on upon him. He kind of just cracks, like all these demands. His wife, his kids are hungry, and he kind of cracks up, and he's not sure if he's a steal or not. And it's all these kind of things going on right here in Combat Shock, with the interesting ending of this thing, like an over the top ending in this. And that is, for Combat Shock. And this one, yeah, it's like, fun one up here. Old school Troma, which was always the best Tromaville movies, were the older ones, I think. And this is definitely one of them up here. And that is Combat Shock here on Blu-ray. Next up here, early 90s classic comedy one. That is here from Scorpion releasing on Blu-ray. That is Clifford up here. Sorry, Martin Short and Charles Grodin, also Mary Steenburgen in this thing. And it's kind of, it's like out there comedy one I grew up watching as a kid. I remember renting this one out at Blockbuster quite a few times. Haven't watched this in years. It was great to check this out on Blu-ray. Which Martin Short takes place as like a 10-year-old boy wants to go visit his uncle because he wants to visit this place called Dinosaur World theme park. And his uncle promises him, Charles Grodin, he's gonna take him, then he lies about it, doesn't take him. So then he does all these like mischievous things to get back at his uncle because he's a very bad boy. And this is out there thing because he's like, you know, what, like a 40-something-year-old guy, Martin Short, playing like a kid, but it kind of works for some reason. It's just very strange, but it's wacky, fun comedy goodness. Is Clifford up here. Looks awesome on Blu-ray. Just a lot of great nostalgia vibes with this thing. Is this one definitely a great one to watch with your family or just Saturday afternoon. Get some pizza or some chips and some snacks. You pop this on and you'll definitely bring back those old nostalgia memories and vibes if you watched them before. Definitely a cool one is this to check out. Here's what it looks like inside. You get the old school reversible like almost like VHS cover art. The newly commissioned artwork. Clifford right up here. Definitely a fun nostalgia vibe one is this for sure. Definitely, I recommend that one big time. And right up here from MVD releasing is one I've never seen before. I think I've heard of it a long time ago. Has Nicolas Cage and also starring Jennifer Beals. And that is Vampire's Kiss up here. Love that old school like VH looking slip right up here on Blu-ray. And this one up here, Nicolas Cage is like the successful guy. Then he meets Jennifer Beals and he just falls in love with her one night. They just hit it off really good and, you know, sleep together and whatever. Then he finds out, he's not really sure, like, did she like take my blood? I really like her, she took my blood. So now I don't know if he might be a vampire. He might be a vampire, you never know. Some things happen. So he kind of slowly discovers, am I a vampire? Am I not a vampire? Am I changing or is this all in my mind from her? Romantic comedy, a little bit of horror in this thing too, kind of all jumbled up in one in this one right up here. And this one looks just a fun, interesting, wacky one of this Nicolas Cage. If you're a fan of Nicolas Cage and all this like, you know, out there acting, this is definitely a good one is this up here. And so it looks really good on Blu-ray. And inside here, you get the like a poster too. So in case you just, you know, like a nice pull-out little poster, which I do love how MVD does that. And you also have a reversible artwork too, in case you want to put that one on, which I do remember that cover, but I've never seen the movie until I got this to review. It said a pretty good one is this from Nicolas Cage. It says it's kind of a cool, like hidden gem in a weird, wacky way. I feel like out there Nicolas Cage acting and things like that, you'll definitely get a kick out of it, especially if you're like fan of his Flashdance, because you also have Jennifer Beals in this thing, and she looks really great. So yeah, good one up here is A Vampire's Kiss. Also here from MVD Visual, MVD Entertainment line, is this one, Forbidden Zone. It's crazy out there comedy, musical, movie, all kinds of wackiness in this thing. Also starring Hervé Villechaize from Fantasy Island. The plane plays like this weird, interesting, horny little king. And this out there thing of goes this other world. Definitely a great cult classic is this up here. All kinds of extra special features, this thing. It's kind of this trippy out there to explain. So if you like out there wacky musicals, you're a fan of this movie, definitely picks up. This looks awesome on Blu-ray. But if you've never seen it before, if you like weird, interesting, almost like tripped out comedy, musical type, mixed in with like a little bit of David Lynch kind of vibes to it, you'll definitely enjoy this. Great music up in here too, in this thing. So just an out there 80s gem is Forbidden Zone. And you get a lot of extra features. I think I'll read some of them off up here. You get a nice new introduction by director Richard Elfman, new Forbidden Zone theme by Richard Elfman, beats by Danny Elfman, which is great. Danny Elfman did so much music, you know, and things like Tim Burton movies like Batman, Edward Scissorhands, things like that later on. But he started off overdoing this stuff too, and this is just great stuff. You also get Joe Spinell in this thing too from Maniac. Just says out there movie is this. And here's what it looks like inside. You get the reversible cover art in case you want to switch it up over here. I do have this on VHS. I bought a long time ago. It's definitely a great upgrade here on Blu-ray. It's a good one to watch. Pop on the TV. Bring some friends over, you put this on, you can have a good time, sing some songs and whatnot, and just kind of go, what the heck am I watching? And there's a nice little mini poster you get with it too up here. But definitely a neat, cool one is this Forbidden Zone. Love how that cover art looks. Out there cult gem is this. The back of it up over here. Just look at that. Look at all those pictures. Tells you what it might be about and what that is too. Definitely a good one to check out and get is this one for sure. And that is The Forbidden Zone. Next up, here's another one from Richard Elfman. Kind of follows Forbidden Zone, but way later. And that is Aliens, Clowns, and Geeks. Definitely a strange one is this. Interesting cast. Alright movie, not as good as Forbidden Zone, but weird nonetheless is this. It's pretty much just out there like out of work actor Eddie Pine finds his way between intergalactic aliens and crazy stuff going on to save the world from strange stuff of aliens and killer weird odd clowns. And a strange musical one, Aliens, Clowns, and Geeks. Very odd, very strange. If you like strange stuff, this is definitely a good one to get up here. So not as good as Forbidden Zone, but still kind of cool is Aliens, Geeks, and Clowns. Right, next up here, we have a nice little stack of some stuff from Mill Creek Entertainment. Link down below for them too. And some nice stuff up here that I'm gonna talk to you about right now, especially this show from the 90s. I remember this one, watched this on TV back when. This is on Blu-ray for the first time. That is Seaquest, the complete series right up over there, starring Roy Schneider. And also got the late Jonathan Brandis. He died shortly after that, after this was made years later, I believe by suicide, unfortunately. But yeah, great sci-fi series was this. Seaquest, executive producer by Steven Spielberg, about all kinds of stuff going on with like underwater type stuff, looking for strange things inside the oceans. Because it takes place in the 21st century as mankind is trying to colonize inside the ocean. So it's like them discovering things, trying to fight it off, and different kinds of things like that in Seaquest in this series up here. Really cool stuff. This looks really great on Blu-ray. Check it out. Show you guys the looks like inside up here. You can get the whole series here, and it's all nice individual discs up and over there. Check that out. It's a really neat sci-fi show. Was this? It brings back memories when you watch this. It looks awesome. The complete series here. I believe it's available now. And it's a really cool one is this, especially like if you like, Jonathan Brandis and Roy Schneider and some other ones too, but those ones always stick in my mind of this show. Seaquest DSV, definitely a good one to have in the collection if you're a fan of the series. So the complete one of it now available, and right up here from Mill Creek. Next up here is also a 90s flick. This is a cult comedy one where it combines basketball and baseball, and you get Basketball from the creators of South Park right up here. Troy Parker, Matt Stone bring you this one, and love that cover art of the big baseballs right there. And it's an interesting one where they make up this new sport and basketball, like a competition, and it's just out there wacky and goofy here on Blu-ray for the first time, I believe, and it's very strange. They invent this game and they play it, and they're like the founders of it, and it's like it takes over everything, and then they have this championship. It's out there weirdness, but they create this game and it just takes over, and they're like stars. This businessman wants to buy it from them and change it up, and then they're not really sure what to do. And it's like you'll find out when you check this one out if you haven't seen it before. Definitely a great one to revisit if you haven't watched it in a long time. So it looks awesome on Blu-ray. Definitely a great cult comedy classic to get is this. This goofy fun stuff as Troy Parker and Matt Stone can do. So yeah, just good fun stuff is that. Another 90s comedy one is this, which I'd never seen before until I got this to review. There's Safe Men up here, starring Paul Giamatti, Sam Rockwell, and Steve Zahn right up there. And Paul Giamatti plays like this, mob. He's a mob guy. We have Sam Rockwell and Steve Zahn. They try to break into the burglary business, meet up with him, and the things kind of go wrong, and things kind of go goofy and strange, and comedy sleazebagginess and this kind of thing up here. So it's just kind of real odd, goofy fun. That is a Safe Men up over here. Early 2000s movie, and that is this one, nice crime thriller. It has Black Dahlia, starring Josh Hartnett, about the true story of the Black Dahlia murder crime that took place, I believe, like in the 30s of LA. Well, like her body was just cut in half. No one really knows how that came to be. But it's pretty much just this movie is like a nice period piece movie about that one up here. Yeah, definitely a good one is this. Always enjoyed this movie. I've watched this in a while, but it looks great here on Blu-ray. It's a nice crime thriller, suspense thriller about a true crime that took place in LA way back when. About this a young, starlet in a way. They call her Black Dahlia because after her murder, mysterious murder of her getting mutilated on the front. They found her body on the lawn. So it's just crazy stuff. Real case, but it's a pretty dang good movie. This one, there's the back of it up here. Definitely good stuff. Is Black Dahlia. Last but not least, right up here for the reviews and for Mill Creek right now, we have a nice little combo pack here on DVD. You get MacGruber, Balls of Fury, and Your Highness. So all great fun, comedy, good gems up here. If you want to pick up on the cheap, here on DVD, get available now. Probably your local Walmart or whatnot. But some all good ones up here, MacGruber, Balls of Fury, and Your Highness. All just, fun, good comedy stuff. You can check out with your friends, family, whomever, and just, have a good laugh. And that's it for the review. So if you want to get all these titles I talked about in this video, so links down below. As a reminder, a lot of good stuff up here. A lot of variety of goodness I had to check out last couple of weeks. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me, some recommendations and some things that are out right now, or some stuff you don't know that's out, that is out, and you can check out right here. And so yeah, if you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below. Let me know if you picked up any of these titles, if you bought any of these ones, or some ones you might pick up. And make sure if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I would appreciate it. And make sure to follow me on Instagram, also on TikTok. So I started doing some TikToks. It's kind of fun. So make sure to check me out on TikTok for some fun little random TikTok videos and things like that. I'm like a pro TikToker. Not really, but it's kind of fun. So make sure to check me out on there. And I'll catch you guys later in the next video. I'll see you then, and bye-bye.